I think the hardest part of the journey is the part when, I ain't gonna say the hardest part, but one of the hardest parts is, having that faith walk to where you are being obedient to how you feel internally. So your soul is communicating with you and allowing you to know that you're safe, you're protected, and everything is already alright, everything's going to be alright. And it's time for you to just pretty much allow, step back, and be in receiving mode. I think that's one of the hardest parts, because the world we live in is driven by doing, acting. There's no classes or no really popular philosophers or philosophies that tell you that a part of your dreams coming true, a part of manifestation is really to be able to allow. Yeah, this shit sound good when one of the gurus say it, one of the spiritual teachers, one of the popular people said, it sound good in a book, but when you out here, you dealing with your family, you're dealing with just everyday life, survival, and you're trying to do this faith walk. You're trying to believe. You're trying to walk and move as if you know you're good from an internal space first, so that you allow yourself to be open and receptive to the things that are trying to come into your life, as well as being able to understand what you need to let go of. Now, that's very hard to do when you got people around you that don't believe in themselves, that don't know what you know, that have no internal peace. And you feel it. You feel them looking at you like you're talking crazy, or they looking at you like you're crazy. Some of them are wondering why you still have a smile on your face while everything seems to be falling apart and shit like that. And it just really be your spirit constantly screaming to you and reaffirming that everything is okay. Your soul telling you, I have a bird's eye view, just keep going, just relax, just allow. But then your left brain kick in and say the bills is due. Your left brain kick in and say, if you don't do this, this won't get done, and things like that. That's the hardest part. I think that's where people get stuck at. I think that's where people give up at. I think that's where people run back to their old beliefs. They run back to the familiarity and, just the shit that you used to. Because I've seen a lot of people say they were so-called on their journey, on their spiritual path. And myself, I actually thought, once you're on the path, you can't get off. You got to walk it out. Meaning you got to become renewed. You got to let a lot of shit go, so you could be fulfilled with new things, new thoughts, learn new shit about yourself and your attributes. I thought it wasn't no getting off, but I seen a lot of people bust U's. I see a lot of people get right to that part where it's time to walk on water. And that's when, like I said, that's when they run back to what they used to. So it's a day-to-day process. It's a day-to-day thing. And you will be challenged. It'll be all the things in the world will start to flare up to try to rush you into making some form of decision, or rushing you to believe in a specific outcome. But the trick is to allowing all the potentials, all the possibilities to be energized and alive by just trusting. Just trusting life. Trusting your spirit, trusting your soul, trusting nature. And the thing about it is you don't know how to do it until you actually do it. There's no self-help book for that shit. There's nothing that's going to walk the path for you. It's just a whole bunch of shit that tell you how you're supposed to walk the path. People could tell you how they walk the path. I could tell you how I walk the path. I'm even telling you right now. You got to trust, you got to have faith, but then you have to do it. There's no way around that part. And the thing is, you can't truly progress and move deeper into who you are, why you're here, and where you're headed, unless you allow yourself to be retaught. You allow yourself to be present and let go of the fears that keep you in the future and the depression that keep you in the past. You got to do a new thing. And that new thing is just, like I always say, engaging fully with life and not having an agenda and trying to bend reality to one specific outcome or two specific outcomes. Because, I know we think we know what's best for us, but the truth is we don't truly know what's best for us. We have an idea once we look at what we might think is our options. But there's a lot of options, a lot of potential, and a lot of possibilities that are not on the table for you to see. Some of them shits you get close and you can feel that everything all right. But you gotta allow that shit. And we've been taught to survive. We've been taught to force. We've been taught to think. We ain't been taught to trust. We ain't been taught to have faith. And it really truly can't be taught, though. It really truly can't be taught. And that's where most people say, oh, hell no. That's the thin line between me being sane and crazy, is believing in something that I could feel but I can't see. But like Big Sean said, when you feel something you can't see and you know it's meant to be, you're going to realize this shit is bigger than me. That's one of my favorite parts off that song, because, man, you feel the doubt of other people on you. You feel it you feel other people's projections of their limitations projected towards you as you're walking on water. And the thing is, you can't look down, you can't look back. You just got to keep walking. Deeper into the unknown, deeper into the unfamiliar. And the thing is, the deeper you walk into it, the more you trust it, the more you are revealed. And it's just revealing more of you to you. And I think it ain't nothing more precious than that. There's nothing more real than that. There's nothing worth doing more than that. So then you find your center. Then you realize that yourself and life is one. There's no separation. When we have a misunderstanding and believe that we are separate, that's the only separation. We create the separation in our minds. That we act it out. We act separate. We feel separate. We do things in a separate way. That's not inclusive of our soul and our soul missions and shit like that. We put that to the side for the comfort of the ego. And, fall deeper into the illusion of separation. But if you really want to cross the threshold from speaking about your spirituality, speaking about your mission, speaking about your purpose, and really actually be living it, then you have to allow. You have to allow. God, walk deeper into the unknown. And you gotta let go of the shit that you fear, that cause you to act from a place of fear, think from a place of fear, feel from a place of fear. You cannot create from fear. You cannot create nothing new from fear. You could create a bunch of old shit. You could remix somebody else's ideas and make it look like your own. But you'll never come into the power that you're a creator until you allow, until you walk that faith walk, until you walk on water. And you believe it, know it, and do it all at one time. It's all simultaneously happening. And witnessing yourself from a different perspective, witnessing yourself and being yourself at the same time is something kind of different. Because now you're not just walking around as a shell of yourself and just having this idea of yourself, missing the moment, going from one fantasy to the next, one daydream to the next, one fear to the next, one feeling of shame and guilt to the next. Nah, you actually are living, doing, allowing, and all that shit. You realize everything come through you. And once you get there, then you begin to build your legacy. And that's when the games really begin. You found yourself. And you realize, like, oh shit is true. What I was seeking me the whole time. It was right there in my face. It was me the whole time. Everything else is just a reference point. Every book, every teacher, every lecture, every song, everything that you resonate with is just a reference point of you. When you believe it's the relationship, or you believe that it's the position you want to be in, the house, just the place you want to get in the future, you might think it's that, but you can fool yourself into thinking that that's what it is. But what you really want deep down in your core and your soul is to be able to truly believe in yourself. Not only believe in yourself, but witness yourself doing what you believe yourself capable of doing, and more. Talking the talk and walking the walk. Not a path that already is created for you, but a path that's created by you. A path that you are paving and learning from all at the same time. So it's kind of like just a real healthy trust, you know. You wake up to solve the mystery a little bit more every day, and the mystery is you. It's not what you like, it's why you like it. It's not what you're looking at, it's how you're looking at it. Why are you looking at it that way? What place are you looking at it from? You get what I'm saying? These are the layers that we have to delve into so that we have a better understanding of ourselves, have a better trust for ourselves, and be able to move to a space where we can counsel others, we can be of service to others, from a genuine place. And we're not feeling like we're giving out an arm and a leg. We learn to give from a place of abundance. But we got to find that place within ourselves first. We have to allow that space to open up. And that shit take time. So, I run across a lot of people that seek guidance, period. They could sense that I've been in a few spaces. I know a few things. They could sense that what I'm saying is the truth because they have the truth deep within them. And all I could do is direct you back to yourself. Now, most people turn away from themselves and they feel like, oh, only I could do this. Just like in the Bible when they talked about, how people looked at Jesus and it was like, he was doing all these things, and he told them, you could do this and more. But because they looked at themselves from a distorted lens, they didn't believe that they could too do those things and more. So they turned away from that part of themselves by crucifying Jesus, by condemning him and what he was and his abilities. So that's what happened too. When you go on this faith walk, you come up against a lot of opposition. While you as soon as you begin to try to balance shit out and have this strong faith and walk on water and believe in the universe, believe in God, believe in yourself, right? So when you start doing this, that's when the opposition want to come and make you reaffirm who the fuck you say you are, what you say you're about. Like, you said you one with the universe. You said you God. You said God love within you. Prove it. Prove that shit. I'm going to throw stones at you. I'm going to crucify you. I'm going to throw mud on your name. I'm going to put smut all on your name. Everywhere you go, there's going to be a smear campaign going on saying you ain't shit. And the universe is going to test you to see if you could walk with some form of integrity and not stoop down to those low levels. To the naysayers and shit like that. Gotta let that part of you go. Yeah, and that's a slow death. Because you want to say shit back. You want to buck back. You want to put people in their place. And usually it's a lot of people, cowardly people, that'll never say things to your face and shit like that. It's always done covert, behind your back. All the shit that ain't true. So do you go fight everybody? Do you go stand up and try to save face for your reputation? Because once you do that, you turn it back to the familiar. You turn it back to a fight that you don't have to respond to. Because if that ain't who you are, if that ain't what you're about, then time will tell. And the thing is, you can't be on this faith walk. You can't be holding this level of trust and look sideways and look backwards at the people that's throwing stones at you. You just gotta take it and go. And that's how you shed those layers of what's hindering you from being your most expansive self, from doing what you came here to do on this earth, and not just being a human that live out all of its animalistic natures, just eat, sleep, shit, and reproduce. Be entertained and do it all again the next day. Buy things, material shit, and that's it. You want to cross over into tapping into that space that don't change. And like I said, to do that, you gotta neutralize the ego. And a good way to neutralize the ego is having people throwing stones at you, having people doubting you, having people testing you, things not looking like it's adding up. It's the best way, because then it makes you reaffirm your faith. It makes you reaffirm why you're here. And it allows that part of you that gets offended, the part of you that want to uphold your reputation, it allow that part of you to die. So then you could have less of an agenda and you could open up to more of who and what you truly are. And this is the thing, once you living in your purpose, once you know why you're here, once you find your center, once you make space for your soul to walk this motherfucking earth, people could say anything they want to say about you. It'd be like gnats, you just smacking them down, you know. It's nothing after that. It's nothing. And you learn to allow life to just take its toll, and you stop swimming upstream, and you allow your path just to open up to you. And it won't be just an idea for you no longer. It won't be something you chasing. Oh, what's my purpose? What's my reason for being here? Why am I here? You open up to a whole sea of possibilities, a whole sea of potentials, and you walk around with this sense of oneness and just knowing that everything's all right, everything's okay. Even at war, even in battle, you still have a sense of security that the world just can't give you.